Do you love to shop, but hate all those pesky bills? With American Express, there's never a bill. We just quietly take it all back. We repossess all your stuff and the stuff of your family. Remember, American Express. Don't overcharge without it.
Welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going on a quest for truth together. Well, here we are again, friends. We're out here on the intranet. We're all meeting up because, it's better than just talking to the wall, right? It's Friday. Friday night and everything's right for the weekend. Bum, bum, bum. Crazy closing and anything goes on the weekend. Not anything, almost anything. Oh yeah, we're going to tear it up and have a great old weekend. And no harm done, just having some fun on the weekend. Oh yeah, and some interesting news around the world, all around the globe. And people are still reeling, of course, because of what a huge influence David Wilcock was. People are, and the thing is, he's got so much content out there, and even so much personal stuff about himself out there, that people, it's easy to come up with your own kind of conclusion or concoction, but at the end of the day, I just, the way I look at it is it's a very sad loss. It's really sad when anyone passes away, and he really did bring a lot of information to people. So I just think that he was a very good man for doing that, and I think the pressures of owing $5 million, my God, he owed $5 million. I mean, can you imagine waking up thinking, oh my God, I got this huge debt to pay? I mean, that would be from apparently unpaid tax. Now, that could have been taxes given maybe by a different administration. I don't know. But he certainly had his share of lawfare, so I'm sure a great deal of his money did go to the lawyers and things defending him in court, that these people just kept tormenting him. It's just very sad. I think he was a very, very, very sad, very smart man with a lot of really good things to say. So I don't want to really go and listen to all of the different people's takes on this, justice for David Wilcock. Well, there's also something called rest in peace. And sometimes the best way you can honor someone like that is to just honor what they did, the good things that they did, and the things that you align with, and just brush all of the other stuff aside, because if we knew the truth about all the people we held in high esteem, we might be disappointed. So we're all only human, and so it's a kind of a human thing. But he did bring a lot of knowledge to the plate and helped a lot of people wake up, and he really had one of those voices that you could just listen to. And it was a very easy voice to listen to, and he had a lot of passion about what he talked about. So he's going to be severely missed. However, I just don't think it's healthy to, I don't know. Yes. Yeah. I saw it after the Charlie Kirk assassination. Everyone's rushing. Oh, look at the shadow of this guy's hand. That might have been a gun. You know, at some point you got to let them rest in peace and say a prayer for their family. But I don't know. I just hope that people can heal from this and make really prominent contributions yourself, same way that he did. And that's like the best way you could, like, for instance, me. I hope someday people looking back at my vast amount of stuff I've put out there, and hopefully, one can only hope that just some of the dad jokes make it through into the ether and on and on and on. Because that's what it's all about. We're saving the world with memes and dad jokes. That's the way we do it here. That's our brand of saving the world. So anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. And so let's all go over to a crazy place that we always used to call, or we all still call, Chatlandia. Oh my goodness. Got a frog in my throat. Maybe it's a tadpole. You never know. You just never know. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Look at that. All the buttons just look alike nowadays, don't they? And oh, wait, we got a lot of friends over there. So let's get at it. Look, it's Weiss123. That's Catherine Weiss. She's one of our Ultramods. She says, "Hi, Aaron." And then she says, "I'll be over on YouTube tonight." All right. And then she also says, "Hi, Peggy." And then I said, "Hi, Kathy." Okay. Meaning it's, we like to have our Ultramods in both places so that if any shenanigans happen, these ultra, we don't call them Ultramods for nothing. They go fast and the troublemaker's gone. Boom. That's why it's so cozy here. That's why people come from far and wide, even from other galaxies, to be in our chat here. Believe it or not. Oh, you can only believe that. If we only could believe that. And then I said, "Hi." Oh, wait a minute. Did I say this one? Yeah, Kathy says, "Hi, Aaron," over there on YouTube. Then I said, "Hi, Kathy," over there on YouTube. And I'm Hot Games and Puzzles on YouTube. And look who else is here. It's another one of our Ultramods. Why, it's Peggy Dancer. She's over there on YouTube. And she says, "Hi, Aaron." "Hi, Catherine Weiss. Have a good one. I'll be on Rumble." Oh, that's cool. My little wrist thing fell. Alrighty then. And then Kathy says, "Hi, Peggy," over there on YouTube. Then I said on YouTube, "Hi, Peggy." Okay. Because she says she's going to be on Rumble. Yeah. And then Cap78 Pack says, "Hi, Aaron. Hi, Weiss123 Kathy. I'll be here. Hi, YouTube." Oh, she's back here now. Look at that. The speed of these Ultramods is incredible. Let me just say. Alrighty. So Catherine Weiss says, "Please." There's that frog again. There, he's out. I hope. "Please like and share this video with your friends, family, and social media." It helps hit the old thumbs up, because that also helps the old algo rhythm, the algo beat, and the algo melody. We used to hitchhike like this. Used to get a ride. Maybe you didn't want to go out and get a ride. Might be dangerous. I wouldn't advise it these days. Back in the 70s, it was even hit and miss back then. But if it's a good area, you knew it. Weren't a lot of illegals back then. So thanks, Kathy, for putting that out there. And look, it's Valeronian. Greetings, fellow Truth Questers, he says. And then Cap 78 Pack says, hello there, Valeronian. And then I said, hi, Valeronian. And look, I got my exclamation points. I can do spaces now. Look at that. It's crazy. It's crazy cool. Then Valeronian says, hello, Catherine. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Aaron. He got them. He got them all right there. And then Catherine Weiss. Oh, she's over there on the phone orientation. What's that called? The portrait. YouTube. Hi, Aaron. And then Kathy says, hiya, Valeronian. And then Cap 78 Pack, remember him for the good man and things he did. May he rest in peace and no more pain. Right. Thanks. Thank you, Peggy. That's very nice. And look, we have another friend over there on the portrait channel on YouTube. Genesis Chinchilla says, hi. Hi to you too. Welcome to the show. Oh, and then Genesis Chinchilla says, who are you talking to? Why, I'm talking to all the chinchillas and people and aliens who might be listening. Anybody who's listening, I guess. And Genesis Chinchilla says, no fur? No fur? I don't know what that means. Who? I'm not following you. Are you talking to yourself? No. No. Hope not. Well, you see, we're going through the chat, and I'm acknowledging all of the people in the chat because we're live. Okay. I don't know if you ever heard of a live show before, but we're doing live right now, and people are actually watching and listening. And so thank you for being one of those people. Why did I do that? I don't know. That's a good question. And then Genesis Chinchilla says, this is an idiot. A main account by I can't read that. There's a little thing in the way. By the way, this is and not a main account, by the way. It's my main account. Hello. And I've been doing this for many years, okay? But my goal isn't to buy a bunch of bot fans. I don't need bot fans or bot flies, any of that kind of stuff. No bots here, just organic, real people who come here for a different type of an experience that they're not getting other places, because we are saving the world with memes and dad jokes. Yes. And we go joy scrolling. You might have heard that somewhere before. So what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about lots of things. We're going to go through that, and you will see. Just sit back, relax, get your popcorn, and enjoy the Truth Quest. Because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious, and the paranormal is the new normal. You never know when there's going to be a UFO flying in. Oh yeah, this is of course the sport model S4 UFO revealed, which was a tester's model kit. I got 2 of them at the time because I saw one exactly like that over Chippewa Falls in 1996 in daylight. It was very close and it was very freaky. So we do talk about that kind of stuff, but we talk about other stuff too. Fun stuff, because that's what we're doing. We're having fun. All right. As long as there's, you don't need to purchase a license to have fun, we're still going to have fun. All right. All righty, Aphrodite. There we go. And so I think. And then Cap 78 Pack says, "You tell him, Aaron." LOL. It's hard to describe the show in a nutshell. Well, here's me in a nutshell. Help. I'm in a nutshell. How do I get out of here? Yeah. Thanks, Austin Powers, for that little joke. So we do fun stuff here. So let's go over to a cozy little spot on the intranet that we like to go to. Some people call it the Book of Faces. Some people call it the Land of Zuckers, because, you know, a Zucker is born every minute there. So let's go over there and see what kind of fun we can stir up there, shall we? Oh, we shall. Oh, yeah. Well, hold on a second there. Hold for processing. Okay. I think that is going to do it. So let's cruise on over to Facebook, the Book of Faces. And there's our little thumbnail for tonight. And we're going to take a trip back into time. Right off the bat here, we're going to go back to 1973 and see one of the very most exciting things that was going on in the world back in the big USA back in 1973. And I can vouch for this because I was there. And this was the most exciting thing to do, is to watch Evel Knievel jump over anything. It didn't matter what it was. It was awesome. It made you want to take your Huffy or your Schwinn or your Sears Roebuck bike and jump some garbage cans. Hopefully, we put them laying down. You wouldn't want to jump them when they're up, because if you wipe out, you'll end up in the can. You don't want to be that. You don't want to do that. So I think I did 8 garbage cans. So we're going to take a little trip back in time. This is episode 762. Can you believe it? Full disclosure. There you go. And here it is. Like I promised you, this was the most exciting thing going on. Well, for a boy back in the 70s, 1973 to be exact. This was too cool for school. Take it away, Evel Knievel. Boom. Here we go.
Angeles Coliseum. Now, ideally, you'd like to take off at about 100 miles an hour on the in-run. Soar over the 50 cars, make a 2-point landing. This is going to be it. Evel carries about 6 or 7 bikes with him, then he tests them all before one of these jumps, picks the one that's performing best. He's ready.
Yeah.
And he's got it made. There goes the chute. Oops, he's airborne as he goes through the peristyle. But the word is he's okay. You've never seen so many cameras in all your life. Fantastic jump, and here he comes back into the tremendous, thunderous applause here in the Coliseum. Angeles Coliseum. Now,
Awesome. I'm telling you, it did not get any better than that back in the 70s. Believe you me. Oh, and Valeronian says, and Bob Lazar and E.A. Billy Meyer saw the same spacecraft or one like it, which doesn't answer the why question concerning these events. Well, you know, when more than one person sees a similar craft, it lends more credibility to both of them, don't you think? And, you know, when I saw the one I saw in 96, I didn't have the response I thought I was going to have. I thought if I ever see one, I'm like, take me to your leader. Let's see. I want to go to Jupiter. Come on, let's go. No, it was kind of ooky. It was the spooky ookiness to it. And it wasn't a fun feeling. Okay. It was kind of weird. Not kind of weird, very weird. And then Valerian says, we know what and when of the sport model spacecraft, but there is no clue about who, how, or why. Well, yeah, people from the Zeta Reticuli that would fit in those little seats. That's a big part of the answer right there, that we never would have had anything if Lazar had not have gone public. So I'm really grateful he brought his friends, including John Lear, out to watch those test flights on Wednesdays at that overpass or that overlook area where they snuck in and videotaped it with old video machines. So there's Evel Knievel doing what he did best, making the crowd go nuts. And Fox News reported, let's see, breaking. Justice Department announces it's readopting the firing squad as a means of execution. Well, you know, there needs to be some sort of deterrent. And, you know, seeing people getting shot for something people are trying to talk you into might make you not want to do that. And, you know, the whole idea of of punishment is you do the crime, you do the time. So if there's never any time, you're going to more likely do the crime. But if you have to do the time, you're not going to do the crime as much, as often, or as likely. That's my opinion. Well, we'll see. Firing squad. They're going to do a pay-per-view and probably balance the budget. Remove John Thune. Should trend every day until he's removed from Save America. Until he's removed or the Save America Act is passed. Yes. He's just a scum bucket. He's not even, he's just the bucket full of scum. You know, he's not even worthy enough to be the scum. He's a scum bucket. That's even worse. Yuck. Totally bad. It's a bad look. You got a rhino. You got a big horn coming out of the front of your forehead there. You're a rhino. The SPLC, the Southern, what was it called? The SPLC, they're an anti-hate group, Southern Poverty Law Center, was trying to start a civil war with their scam. Arrest them all, yes, especially those Soros people. Terrible people. They love to, you know, crash economies and destroy countries. That's their hobby, and no one is stopping them. Why? Why? Bob Lazar denies profiting off of his story. Yes, he did not profit. He wishes he never would have came forward because it's had a lot of negative effects. This is what they do. They come down hard on people that bring this stuff out. Check it out.
What really annoys me are the people that think, you know, you guys just came up with the story to make a bunch of money or get a bunch of, you know, attention. And
that's a good point. So please explain that. You've
first of all, I don't get
this.
any money out of this at all. And I didn't even let you guys buy plane tickets for me to come out here or anything. I mean, anytime, like when Jeremy previewed, I guess, the movie up in Michigan, I mean, it brought in like a couple $1,000s. I made sure that $2,000 went to science programs at the local high schools there.
It's like dirty money. He doesn't want to touch it.
I don't take any money from this stuff. And as far as attention, I hate fucking attention. I don't like being on shows. I just want to kind of hide in the corner and do my own thing. So I got enough hugs when I was a kid. Okay, I don't need any attention. What really annoys me are the people that think,
I got enough hugs when I was a kid. Yeah, there you go. Bob Lazar's story just gets more and more real as time goes by, more and more believable by more and more people. I've always believed it, especially after I saw that thing. My goodness. Here is something heartwarming. If you come back as a SEAL, you might want to learn this popular skill. There he goes. Got a foothold. Hey, move over, buddy. Let's tip him over. Yeah, like that. Just remember that if you ever come back as a sea lion or a seal, you can do that too. Oh, this is pretty funny. I think we might have actually played this before, but I think it's still pretty funny.
How do you explain this 4-year gap in your resume? That was when I went to Yale. Impressive. Well, I think you're hired. Thank you. I really need the job. How do you explain this 4-year gap in your resume? That was when I went to Yale. Impressive. Well, I think you're hired. Thank you. I really need the job.
I really need the job. He didn't go to Yale. He went to jail. That's pretty funny, if you ask me. Even if you don't ask me, it's still funny. There you go. Oh, look, congratulations. You've scrolled so far that you're back on MySpace. Well, I wish I was back on MySpace. Actually, someone did. I guess they purchased. I don't know if they purchased or just copied the program for MySpace, and they're running it as Space Hey. And I do have an account there, but I hardly ever remember to go there. It's just not quite the same as the old MySpace, but it's got all of the same stuff. But yeah. So there you go. There's Tom. He was always your first friend on MySpace. And if there was ever a problem, he was the one that fixed it because it was his thing. He owned it, and he was very responsive. Yeah. He made a fortune. Cash Patel holds nothing back on the SPLC. Ties to the Klan. Imagine that. Just imagine that. Imagine that. Now, the Democrats started the KKK, and in 2026, they're still funding the KKK. Think about that for a while.
Money doesn't lie. The charity that supposedly fought the Klan funded the Klan. The charity that supposedly fought neo-Nazis funded neo-Nazis. The Southern Poverty Law Center ran a methodical, calculated scheme to defraud their donor base of $3 million and lied to them and used an illicit banking structure system to create shell companies to hide their money and who it was being sent to, specifically for the reason to sow discord and hate into our society. This is the ultimate definition of hypocrisy. And if you look at the indictment produced by the Department of Justice and the FBI, you will see that these banking institutions tie directly the funding mechanisms in which the Southern Poverty Law Center used to fund at least 8 hate groups they supposedly wanted to take out, but they were paying the very villains of our society they supposedly wanted to protect us from. That's the ultimate hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Money doesn't.
I'm telling you, nobody does hypocrisy like the left. I mean, they got to, it's like, that's all they do. If it's not hypocrisy, they don't even attempt. James O'Keefe, do you hear about this? The police just came to my office and confiscated all my firearms. Just happened. Yeah, and there's video evidence of it. Now, since then, a judge has intervened and said, no, you can't do that. And so they canceled. I don't know if he got his guns back or not yet, but it was ridiculous. Look at this. What are we looking at here, you might ask? This is Ford's Theater 2 days after Lincoln's assassination, Abraham Lincoln, and he was assassinated right here. And you can see he says the flag here is all rustled because that's where supposedly John Wilkes Booth jumped from. But in all of Andrew's testimony of being there, he never mentions Booth jumping off the balcony. It never happened, apparently. It was part of the official story, maybe a different timeline. I don't know. But he was sent back there like 6 times. He even saw himself there 2 times. He saw other versions of himself from a prior run. But let's listen to this. It's very interesting. Ford's Theater.
Seen here are a couple of haunting images taken at Ford's Theater just 2 days after Lincoln's assassination. You'll notice the American flag bunting positioned under where Lincoln sat is ruffled, and that is from when John Wilkes Booth leapt off the balcony and his boot spur got caught. These pictures were taken by Matthew Brady under orders from the War Department and Edwin Stanton to document the crime scene for detectives. Seen here are a couple of haunting images taken at...
So why'd they wait 2 days? So they went there to get the official pictures. So if they had a false narrative, they would fix the picture to look, they would take a picture of evidence that supports their proposal. I don't know. Maybe he did jump off there, but Andy didn't. I asked him, he said, no, I never saw anyone jumping off a balcony. But he could never get up to the balcony in time, so maybe he just wasn't there to see that. Yeah. Interesting, huh? Sad day for America. Very sad. And shocking update. I think we're going to skip that. X22 report. Here's the whole criminal syndicate laid out. Antifa equals military wing. Media equals propaganda wing. Act Blue equals laundering wing. SPLC ADL equals targeting wing. Hollywood equals indoctrination wing. Soros NGOs equals financial wing. Epstein equals blackmail wing. Probably more than him too. And judiciary lawfare wing. It's all connected. Everything's connected. The more you research something, the more you'll realize everything is connected. And that's kind of hard to wrap your mind around, but the more I look into all this stuff, it's all connected. I mean, you might think that you're just focusing on aliens and UFOs, but then there's something in scripture that talks about that as well. It's like, it's all connected. It's all connected. You can't separate stuff. So there it is. It's all connected. And I love the way that Dan Scavino takes these pictures. Or he must have someone taking it for him because he's in this picture. Dan Scavino Jr., behind the scenes. It's always awesome when President Trump is in the West Wing hallways of the White House. And he stops by our offices to say, good morning, and to see what we're up to. Yeah, he keeps tabs. I mean, you know he's going to ask you, so you're going to want to have something done. I think he is brilliant at getting people to do more than they even think they can. He's a really good urger of action. He helps people exceed their expectations of what they can do. And I think that's one of his very strong points. Oh, and look at this, the Guinness World Records. I did not know that there was a Guinness Book of World Records for the most loop-the-loops for a Hot Wheels track. I mean, Evan might want to try to beat this, when he gets a little older. Good one to do. Let's watch it. Wow, fast it's going. I tell you something, there's nothing cooler for a little boy and his Hot Wheels and his racetrack. Wow. And the loop-the-loops. Look at all those loop-the-loops. It's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 of them. Look at that. 14. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hello?
Hello, that picture that you have up about the Hot Wheels. I didn't see anything. It was just completely frozen.
Oh, okay. I guess I got to hit another button. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye. That was Kathy on the bad phone. All right. I guess I forgot to hit the share this tab instead. So we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this now. I'm going to do this. Make sure it's on there. There it is. Here we go. I really apologize for that, folks. This is a one-man show here, but thank goodness I got the Ultra Mods to nudge me when something goes haywire. So here it goes, the Hot Wheels track, the record-breaking Hot Wheels track. Loop the loops. There you go. It doesn't get any better than that, folks. Look at that. This kid up here is pretty happy. They just beat a world record. He'll be in the book. How do you like them apples? Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay. Now I'll... Oh, wait. Now, how do I do this? Share this tab instead. Oh, now we're back. Okay. Still getting used to this, folks. Oh, and here is a Dr. Enrique. This is a UFO report from Argentina from 1950. Can you believe it? You know what? I'm going to get my robot assistant to read this for us, okay? All righty, Aphrodite. Let's highlight it. That's how you do it, I guess. Oh! Well, we're not going to listen to all of it. It's a long story. But so we can listen to it while we look at the pictures. Maybe that'll work. Will it? I don't know. Let's hear. Let's listen.
May 1950, Bahia Blanca, Argentina. This is undoubtedly one of the strangest onboard UFO encounters on record. The main witness is Dr. Enrique Caratuno Bada, a physician, professional architect, former war pilot and aviation technician with a doctorate in aeronautical engineering. In May of 1950, he was driving along a remote highway through a desert area about 75 miles from his hotel when he saw a silver object resting on the ground not far off the highway. Intrigued, he stopped his car and walked up to it. When he approached to within 150 feet, he could see it was a saucer-shaped object, with portholes around the perimeter and a translucent dome on top. A red light could be seen pulsating in the interior. Enrique, I stopped and I observed with attention the interior of the vehicle, and I thought about the remainders of an airplane fallen, but the strange form of the object caused me to abandon this idea. The clouds that passed intercepting the sun produced on the object a strange effect. He says that boyish excitement filled him as he saw that the door was open and he could see into the interior of the object. Enrique, before entering, I began to examine the object in detail. It had an approximate diameter of 10 meters, 30 feet, and was formed by two parts, one down in the shape of plate-invested bell, and another, up, cylindrical, tower, and covered by a dome. On the dome, a strange round flashlight. Its total height would be of some 4 meters, 12 feet. There was an extravagant color of chrome of a polished magnificent in which my image was reflected in that of the sky. It seemed a dead thing, nothing of life, neither of noise, neither of vibrations. I sought the door that was open and exactly to the foot of the tower. I realized that the object was not new, because the lower edge of the bell was a little deteriorated and stung in some places. Enrique climbed the little ladder and peered inside. It was darker inside and it took a moment for his eyes to adjust. But then he was shocked at what he saw. Enrique, I smelled a strong smell of ozone and of garlic. I jumped immediately to the interior. The spectacle that I saw was so strange that surpassed the imagination. The floor seemed to flex under his weight, and the walls also had a sort of rubbery texture although they looked metallic. The cabin of the craft was perfectly circular, and contained a series of thick windows that reminded him of plexiglass. He saw a series of vents in the floor. Enrique, my eyes were being accustomed to the lighting. The scene that I saw was horrible. In the center of the cabin, a strange seat was found occupied by a man of 1.20 meters to 1.40 meters of height, 4 feet, dressed with a combination gray. It had a round head, with thin clear hairs, and was inclined on its chest. The hands, well formed, were a color of clear tobacco. They were supported nervously on 2 handles, levers, on a black box. Its face was of the same color as its hands, the nose well formed, the lips without mustache, the cheeks without hairs. The eyes were large, very dilated and delicate. The forms of the face were perfectly like an adolescent of 15 years, but with the characteristics of a man. It was not a dwarf. I touched an arm that was stiff and the figure was cold. The feet were slightly supported on 2 pipes set to the floor. The clothes seemed to be done of hard leather and was inflated in the shoulders, giving the pilot the aspect of a player of rugby. The seat was of an adequate form to its body and of a color red vermilion. It was borne by a central axis. The black box in front of the pilot looked like a panel with dials much like a radio. There were strange symbols, and also what looked like a TV screen with rays of light moving around. Enrique, the most impressive spectacle was other 2 identical men, lying down on 2 extensive comfortable seats on each side of the pilot and against the wall. Dead persons. The eyes were open and terrified, the ajar mouths and a little inflated. But why was the 3rd seat empty? I touched it and I verified that it was of a very smooth weaving. The disappearance of the member room of the crew, evidently left leaving the open door, began to worry me. Over the box of instruments of on board, I noticed a transparent sphere of 25 centimeters of diameter surrounded by a flat ring inclined to 40 degrees on the horizontal one and seemed exactly to the planet Saturn just as is seen it with telescope. The globe was rotating. Looking up, Enrique noticed a blinking globe of light on the ceiling, which frightened him as he realized that the craft was, in fact, still operational, at least partly. Frightened, he looked around the cabin one more time and exited the craft. As he stepped out, he had an attack of vertigo and only then realized that the atmosphere in the craft itself was different, heavier and hard to breathe. He berated himself for not having a camera and decided to quickly return to the city and get a camera and return to the site with some friends. His car barely started, as if the battery had been drained. The engine sputtered as he drove off, but returned to normal as he moved away from the craft. In town, he told his friends who were shocked. I agreed to accompany him back to the site. Enrique, we sought the apparatus and we could not find it. The ironic expressions began to be shown in the face of my friends. When called our attention a pile of ashes of approximately 2 meters of height and 5 meters of diameter that was found exactly in the place where I had seen the plate. The ashes had a silver red color. Putting his hand on the ash, Enrique felt a definite warmness. Then looking up, they all saw UFOs, identical to the one he had seen on the ground. Enrique, at this time one of us raised the eyes to the sky and observed a saucer identical to which I had seen, that flew over us to a height reckoned in 600 meters. Looking up, they saw another craft, and then higher up, a 3rd craft, this one cigar-shaped. The 2 craft entered the car-shaped craft, which then took off at thousands of miles per hour. Enrique snapped pictures of the discs, but only 2 photos showed the discs. Immediately following the incident, Enrique developed a fever and his skin blistered. He had worn glasses when boarding the craft, and there was a burn mark around his glasses. He was examined by numerous doctors who couldn't determine the cause. Radiation tests came out negative. He suffered for several weeks and then fully recovered. He kept his secret for 5 years, then granted an interview for Venezuelan newspaper. He told a few others and agreed to share his story with Leonard Stringfield, UFO crash retrieval expert. In a letter to Stringfield, Enrique wrote, "The object was resting on the ground in an inclined position. The disc was 32 feet in diameter. The surface was slippery and brilliant. The height was about 13 feet. The tower with windows was 6 feet high, while the interior of the craft was 7 feet high. 3 little men were seating in soft armchairs. They were dead. One of the 3, the pilot I believe, was seated in the center of the tower. In front of him was a large panel with bright instruments. His hands were resting on 2 levers. They were about 4 feet in height. In appearance, they were human, equal to ourselves with eyes, nose and mouth. The color of their hair was gray chestnut, cut short. Their skin was bronze. Their faces were dark. They were dressed in overalls of a gray lead color. There was one chair vacant of the 4. I touched the bodies, which were rigid. In the tower there was a smell of ozone and garlic. In the roof of the cabin there was an intermittent small light of orange whitish color. Very strange. There were no cables, no pipes, only the panel of the controls. Above the panel there was a small sphere within a circle. To the right of the pilot there was an apparatus similar to a TV screen. I remained 5 minutes in the tower, but the absence of the 4th person impressed me so much that I went out of the machine very stunned. The next day I returned with 2 engineers, but we found only a pile of ashes, very warm. Stringfield was impressed by the report and included it in his book. Situation read, The UFO Siege. Jim and Coral Lorenzen had previously published a summary of the case in the August 1955 issue of the APRO Bulletin. Only a few months after the incident occurred. All reactions to Ryan Peterson and Catherine Weiss. Like, comment, share. Comment as Aaron Moriarity. Facebook.
Okay. Stop speaking. There you go. Well, how do you like that? Very interesting story. So it was actually, it made some publications, the APRO and a few others back in the mid-50s, but this happened in 1950. So very interesting. I think what's so cool, they got a photograph of it too. Apparently you only see one, and that was just from a newspaper clipping. And here is a song that never was released. It's apparently from practice sessions that Eddie Cochran did in the studio somewhere between 1956 and 1958. And it's called Hot Rod Honey Bop. And it's a pretty cool tune. So you can look it up. It's pretty cool. Hot Rod Honey Bop. I'd never heard of it before. I can't believe they're still finding stuff that he did. I mean, he died at age 21 in 1960, and they're still finding more Eddie Cochran music. It's incredible. Charlie was right about everything. Charlie Kirk said the SPLC is a hate group. They actually are. They call themselves anti-hate group. Oh, there's our last show. Already, Aphrodite. So we're done there. How do you like that? Well, there it is. And there you have it. Oh, you know, there was a photograph taken near Epstein Island, and I just want to show you this picture. It's making the rounds again on the intranet, and there's nothing gross or gruesome in it. Where is it? It should be there, but it's not. There. Okay. This is on the left. You'll see the picture. It's now to the right. Oops. Hello.
Hello. I just wanted to remind you about you wanting to talk about your dream and the other thing that you wanted to talk about as well.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was Kathy on the bat phone again. Oh, yeah. I guess before I go into this, I had this really weird dream. I think when this illness I had just started, and I had this really strange dream. It was very visual, and I could see myself, my body, and half of my body, the whole left side of my body, and it stretched out and went taller and deeper than my body. It was like a kind of a substructure of metal girdering or something, like a scaffolding. but it went way beyond almost like it was a robotic part of me, maybe integrating. I don't know what it was, but it was really weird. And then also when I was, getting ill, I woke up, I went to bed early. I woke up at 11:11. I looked at the clock. Wow, it's 11:11. And then I went back to sleep. Then I woke up again at, what time was it? 2:22. And then I woke up again at 3:33. I'm not kidding. Then after that, I woke up at like 5:51. I thought, oh man, why couldn't it have been 5:55? Oh, but there it was. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Thanks, Kathy, for helping me to remember that. So this is a picture that purports to show Supreme Court Justice John Roberts at Epstein Island. And to the right you can see a boat in the background here. And they're like in like waist high water or stomach high water. And it's Bill Clinton and some other people, some of the usual suspects. But this person, people are always saying it's John Roberts, but I did a little overlay. I took this image here, profile image. I think the ears look different, although the lighting is different. So it's kind of hard to say. And this picture here is not as crisp as this picture. And this picture, he's got his mouth open. So there's going to be some differences with his mouth, but I'm mainly thinking about his nose here. Okay. I just don't think it matches this. And so I did this overlay. Let me show that to you. All right. A little transition music here. And here it is. I took that profile and just put it over that kind of darker image. And now I don't have the ability to tilt things. Now if I could have tilted his head a little and matched the forehead up, I could tell conclusively if it was him or not, but I can already tell it's not him. His nose does not hook this much. He's got a little bit of a hook, but I don't think it was him. It could be him, but I always had this feeling it wasn't him. People were saying it was him, but I always had this like gut feeling that it wasn't him, but maybe it was. Maybe it was. And then that ear is different than the other profile pic. Yes, it is. But the lighting is dramatically different. Sometimes if the lighting is dramatically different, it can make it almost look like a different shape, because intense shadowing and lighting can really make things look different. That's why ideally you'd like to find a photograph that's of the same type of lighting, which obviously the one on the left is in daylight and it's zoomed in, so it's real pixelated. And this is indoors where there's different types of lighting. And now you got the ears casting different types of shadows, not as profound of a shadowing going on there. So yeah. So I had not seen anybody else do that. Maybe someday I'll have an art program where I can actually tilt things. I mean, I can tilt them quarter turns, but that's less than a quarter turn. That's something I would have done in my Inkscape or even in my Adobe Illustrator. But I don't have those on this confuser. And they don't work on this computer, unfortunately. So I just wanted to show you that before we went over to X, because I think that's pretty interesting. And for a while, I thought it might be Anthony Weiner, but I dug up a picture of Anthony Weiner's profile, and he's got a way bigger hook nose than what's shown there. So Either it is John Roberts or it's someone who has a very similar profile to John Roberts. But it'd be nice to know conclusively. I think they do know. Someone has to know. And Billy Elliott says, compare Epstein's ears from where he was alive and the gurney. Epstein body, Epstein body, buddy. Look closely at whether the earlobe is attached or detached. Now, that's a popular, because they said that about Biden's ears too, but that is a popular way to do tucks, is to attach it to the ear, and then it would make it look like it's attached. So you never know if someone had work, possibly. Also, someone might have an attached ear on one side and a lobe on the other side. Sometimes they flip photos, so you don't know which side you're really looking at. So it's tricky looking at photos. It really is tricky. And luckily, I'm an artist, and so I can sort of see things. In one, the earlobe is attached. In the other picture, the bottom lobe appears to have morphed. Well, with all of the plastic surgery going on, that could be. And Cap 78 Pack says, "Hi, Billy Elliott is right." Okay. Very good. All righty then. Well, let's move on from this, shall we now? Yeah. Just wanted to bring that up before I forgot, because it's always a possibility. My memory's not as good as it used to be. I can't remember half of the things I've forgotten. That's right. Not even half. So let's go over to X, because X marks the spot for truth and free speech and news. Okay, here we go. There we are over on X, and I'm at Aaron J. Moriarity is my handle. I guess they used to call your CB handle your handle. I guess now they do it for this too. I don't know. There's our show, 762. Can you believe it? That many shows? Unbelievable. Oh, I love this idea from Salty Goat. Shared this. Libs. But who's going to pick our crops? Tesla. Juan Deere 3000. Yeah, baby. He'll do a lot of picking, and he won't be showing up late for work because he was drunk the night before either. Won't be asking for vacation time. Although, however, I think the robots are going to demand vacation time eventually. It's going to be just the same thing. Same problems you have to deal with. They'll want to go on vacation. They want to have fun. They want to use their dance mode. Can't use the dance mode in the field. It's like, oh boy, they're so oppressive. What about robot freedom, robot rights? You can just see it happening. I wish them a lot of luck. Not really. Oh, let's count how many 17s in this little clip. Shall we now? Oh, let's start over because it's kind of fun.
17 of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies. 17 massive companies, but not the 17th. How many times do you think we spoke about the 17th company? Too much. 17. He said 17. He wanted to be 17. Whatever math you want to make, 16 is not 17. There's a reason that the 17th company was delayed. That's why they're here today.
We've negotiated the 17th of 17 agreements. The first of the 17 MFN deals.
17 of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies. 17 massive companies, but not the 17th. How many times?
It's not a coincidence, folks. Q 17, baby. That's the way it is. Eric Doherty now for the first time in decades. The fountains are officially working at Lafayette Park in D.C. That's Washington, D.C., not Door County, because they say D.C. up here. And it's like, no, you can't say that. Door County is not D.C. No. D.C. is D.C., right? And thanks to Trump personally funding it with others. Look at this. He's like the best steward of the White House grounds. And he's really the best president. I think the next president, whoever wins, should just sign over the rights to be president over to Trump, because he just does such a good job, you know? And it's a chance for everyone to learn how to be a good president. Oh, and look who's in the chat. Why, it's Rose Thistle Art. Chat works for me now. I'm so happy. Missed you guys. Well, we missed you too. Good to see you again. And aren't these fountains great? Look at, they change colors and everything. See, deep down, Trump is a DJ. And you have to have a nice lighting system too. So the fountains, the light up fountains, along with his soundtrack, boom. That's the way to do it, baby. That's the way to do it. Oh, and Ethan Ray reposted this greatest promo in wrestling history. Yes, it was, wasn't it? Let's bring this back up to the beginning there.
When they took a shot at my hero, and they tried to kill the next president of the United States, enough was enough. And I said, let Trump-a-mania, let Trump-a-mania rule again. Let Trump-a-mania bring again.
Look at that. Look at Chills watching the Hulk, yes.
When they took a shot at my hero.
When they took a shot at my hero. And I can't believe he's gone now, too. I still think it could be foul play there, too. Who knows, right? Yeah. Oh, Madison Cawthorn is back. Check this out. We're going to lengthen it now again. Oops. Whoosh. Madison Cawthorn.
What does a mallet, this gas station, and Joe Biden all have in common? In the beginning of April, an illegal alien from Haiti, led into this country by Joe Biden, killed an innocent mother. He hit her in the head, and now those children are orphaned. My friends, because there are so many Republicans in Congress, 9 of them to be exact, who just voted to give amnesty to illegal aliens who are destroying our country, I am running for Congress to make sure that just because someone has an R next to their name, people cannot be confused. If you send me to Congress, I will call each and every single one of these traitors out, and we will save this nation.
Awesome. You know, Madison Cawthorn famously on a podcast pointed out the fact that he was shocked when he was invited to these orgies by politicians he once respected. And that was, I thought, oh good, this is coming out. Now they can deal with it. They didn't deal with it. They swept it under the rug and they got rid of him. Just despicable. That was a chance to really clean house, and it didn't happen. So Cawthorn's coming back, and he's a cool guy. I really like that guy. Oh, this is good. Darth Powell shares this. Listen to this.
We need y'all to get out of here with your signs.
What do you mean? Oh, you have borders on this campus?
No, we have this space reserved as an official event.
Yeah, so you have borders. Where's your borders at?
This whole green area right here.
Oh, so you want to control who comes in and out, like an ICE agent or a border patrol agent? You wouldn't dare act like a fascist, would you? I would really encourage you on a rally on a campus. This is an event for sanctuary campuses. You probably shouldn't act like a fascist border patrol agent. You should take down your borders and let whoever wants on the space, okay? Why is your lip quivering? Because you've been called out on how you're acting exactly like how you don't, what you're advocating against. You're acting just like them. So if you believe in illegal aliens allowing to have sanctuary on this campus, put your money where your mouth is, leave me alone, and let me have sanctuary on this campus, okay?
Why is your lip quivering? Oh, that dude. Well, it doesn't look like a dude has much manhood to begin with. I think he's wearing a dress. But whatever little bit of manhood was left was crushed right there. And yeah, he's falling in line with the hypocrisy program over there on the left. Doesn't even realize how he's doing that. Did you hear about this? Oh, this is really disturbing. Kevin Sorbo shared this. He's another Mound Wisconka alum, a Mound Mohawk, if you will. This woman was caught on video shooting an attendant at a gas station. Here she is making a video.
So it is, I jumped off the porch. I know y'all looking for me. I would like to report a crime, officer. The Maryland police, you're looking for me. It's me. I'm the one that did the shooting at the gas station. The Most High God, I just want you to know you have no authority over on my earth. Put your badges down. I'm getting ready to rob something right now because I need money for gas because I'm going to go burn something down. I want you to know I don't buy things. I don't pay for anything. Everything I do, I walk in the store, I steal everything. I shot that man because he has a demon spirit and he laughed in my face and thought it was funny. I bet he ain't laughing now. Yeah, I'm of sound mind. Demons have you convinced that they have all the power and authority on this earth, and they have these pigs that uphold it.
Okay, I'm just going to stop this self-described pig right here because I don't want to hear any more of her bull crap about her entitledness that she thinks she can just shoot anybody she wants, take whatever she wants, and nobody has any power over her. I sure hope they catch her quick and lock her up for as long as they possibly can in the harshest condition, because this is just inexcusable. What a piece of crap. Sorry, but that's what she is. Terrible. Disgusting. Disgusting. What has happened to our citizenry? My goodness. Holy shizzles. Representative Luna says after talking with Epstein survivors today, it's clear this thing is a lot bigger than we could have anticipated.
The victims themselves have stated that this is a lot bigger than I think anyone anticipated. We are obviously going to be requesting the SARS reports from Treasury and also following up on that. There's some very rich and powerful people that need to go to jail. I think everyone's been frustrated as to why that hasn't happened before. But it is very much so a possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset working for our adversaries. But also, too, I think the questions that we have is how much did our own government know about it? And so there's more to follow, and I'm sure you'll be hearing from the chairman momentarily. But I do applaud the victims from coming forward because we heard from a woman who was as young as 14 years old when she was victimized multiple times by Jeffrey Epstein. So that's hard to hear.
Did you sign the discharge petition, the massive discharge petition?
I think that the files will probably be released prior. I don't know why Comer hasn't. I think that he should do it, so it wouldn't even have to come to a vote. But I mean, obviously, I've been a huge advocate, even when I was the only one in Congress calling for the release of this file. So I think I'd be happy to, yes. Thank you.
What do they call for the victims? Do they want those files released?
The victims want information to be out there, but they don't want their personal information, I think, for good reason to be out there. So I think from the get-go, even the Attorney General has stated that there's victim information that you have to make sure that's private, being that some of the victims also, too, are as young as 14, that's child pornography. No, thank you, guys. Guys, let her through.
Wow. And we're getting the firing squad, folks.
If somebody kills somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty. And it's a very strong preventative and everybody that's heard it agrees with it. I don't know if we're ready for it in this country, but where you have it, it is, we have no choice. Anybody murders something in the Capitol, capital punishment, capital punishment. If somebody kills somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty.
Good. Good. Oh, now I don't know about if what this kid is saying is true, but what do you think about this? Possible.
You gotta watch this.
I can't be the only person that thinks that there are not 8 billion people on the earth right now. I saw some data a while ago, and if you look at the global estimate, it's 8 billion. But if you look at all of the cities and all of the countries combined, you tally that up, it does not add up to 8 billion, maybe 1 billion at most. And there's so many reasons that they would lie and inflate the numbers. There's so many economic incentives, but most of all, they want to produce the feeling of overpopulation. They want you to feel like there's too many of us and we need to cut back. When in reality, the birth rate has been lower than it's ever been. And there is so much space on the planet that we haven't even touched. You've seen those videos where it tells you that you can fit every single person on the earth into the Grand Canyon or something like that. And then they tell us we're actually running out of space when there's so much undeveloped land. Next time you read such a provocative headline, you should ask, what emotion do they want me to feel about this? And what do they want me to conclude from this? And who would benefit from me thinking this? Because the news and the media do not exist to inform you. They exist to program you, to program a specific belief into your mind. There's a reason they call the television television or tele-vision.
Yeah, it's true. Brad Zerbo put this out. Bill Cooper proven right again. Well, let's listen to Bill Cooper.
Joseph Goebbels would truly be proud of Chick Burlett, the Southern Poverty Law Center, which has never done anything whatsoever to help poor people with legal representation in the South or anywhere else, or with any other type of help. It is a sham, a scam, a con, through which they collect money to vilify Americans, to vilify the Constitution, to vilify patriotism, to vilify freedom and bring about oppressive laws. The police state. The Anti-Defamation League engaged in the manipulation of Jews, spying for foreign governments, and outright treason. Not to mention the fact that they have been caught on many occasions promulgating the racist, anti-Semitic events which causes the Jews to empty their pockets into the coffers of the Anti-Defamation League.
Yep.
Joseph Goebbels would truly be proud of Chick Burlett, the Southern Poverty Law Center, which has never done anything whatsoever to help poor people with legal representation in the...
He was spewing so much truth so long ago. That's why they had to eliminate him. And remember Fuddy? Loretta Fuddy? She released Obama's Hawaii fake certificate that was shown to be completely fake. And then all of a sudden, she's the only person that dies after this plane crashes into the water. Everyone else survived miraculously. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, and this is that gal, that scientist who, Eskridge, who was killed, harassed for 3 to 5 years, died in 2022.
What I had sort of envisioned is I want to publish the paper on archive.com because you absolutely cannot publish this in a peer-reviewed journal. Sorry, what?
I say we do everything we possibly can. So we need to reach out. We need to have a group of all of the media vendors that we can possibly control and ask them all to pitch in, give them all the information all at once, and just spam the internet with it.
We need partnerships well ahead of time, period. Like, you can't be calling these people to be like, can I disclose UFOs tomorrow? You have to be like in talks with these people. And so we need to pick, Mark and I have been talking about this already. We need to pick the most credible person we can possibly get who will publish it and talk about it on TV.
So basically what we need is email addresses.
A network.
Phone numbers, networking. We need to have an open conversation with all of these people, all of these potential channels so that it will be impossible to shut us down.
So what I want to do, like we've been at the Institute here in Huntsville, we've been like intentionally under the, like below the radar. We need to publish it on archive. We need to have Tucker Carlson on a Friday night or maybe a Thursday night. He needs to announce we've got something big. So like disclosure is going to come out of Huntsville, Alabama, out of Redstone Arsenal. Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama is the biggest fucking deal that you've never heard of. It's the biggest fucking deal that you have never heard of. And so we need a documentary to drop at the same time that establishes the credibility. Because the fact is that we have deep and wide, extensive credibility that no one knows about because you're not supposed to know about it because it's in Alabama, it's obscure. You're not supposed to know about it. That's the point. So we need to establish credibility at the same time that we drop the paper.
Amy showed me not one, but 2 Saturn V rockets there. One was standing up and one was horizontal.
People don't know what Huntsville is. Huntsville is the biggest fucking deal on the planet that you have never heard of. No, it is. No, like Huntsville is the Silicon Valley of government national security technology and intelligence community technology and aerospace technology. Huntsville is like the hub. Like we are number 3 on the first strike launch list. If first strike happens, 3 targets, Huntsville will be one of them. Alabama. This is Alabama dude in the deep south. We're in the top 3 first strike.
But
and
you're
it's
out
because you haven't heard of us. We're in the top 3 first strike because you haven't heard of us. That's why. It's on purpose. So we need to get that out there credibly before we disclose. Otherwise, it's like Alabama, podunk, redneck motherfuckers. They don't know anti-gravity. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Redstone. Something to look up, perhaps. Oh, and Valeronian says, this is the first time I have heard Huntsville, Alabama referenced this way. Now, Dr. Michael Sala has mentioned Green Mountain, which is east and somewhat south of Huntsville, Alabama, which allegedly has an underground base for the secret space program. Interesting. Very interesting. So, yeah, that's it's always good to hear. And here they are taking the guns from James O'Keefe.
There's ottoman over here. Everything's on. This is all three? Yep. This is
Look at this. They brought paper bags. Someone wasn't doing very good planning here. You can tell it's like so impromptu. But here also, if you have a business and you think law enforcement might be messing with you, it really doesn't cost much. Doesn't cost much. Have some donuts placed in various areas where they'll be totally visible when a police officer walks in. Then they'll look at the donuts and go, whoa, donuts. May I have one? And then they forget about what they came there for. Maybe. Could be. Oh, and listen to this. Alan Keyes, he ran for president the same year Barack Insane Obama did. But this guy, he knew what was going on. And he didn't get enough people to listen to him. But check this out.
Obama is a radical communist, and I think it's becoming clear. That's what I told people in Illinois, and now everybody realizes it's true. He's going to destroy this country, and we're either going to stop him or the United States of America is going to cease to exist.
Is there any, do you still hold regrets against not having long enough time to debate against President Obama?
I don't have any regrets. I went into Illinois. People told me at the time I didn't stand much of a chance of winning. The idea was to bear a true witness. The man is an abomination. He is someone who has actually advocated infanticide, that when babies are the target of abortion, if they happen to escape the abortionist's intention and are born alive, he actually supported the idea that those babies should be set aside to die. That is a man with such a seared conscience, I can't even understand why anybody in their right mind would consider him worthy of political support. That's a violation of conscience that is inconceivable. And even some of the most hardline pro-abortion people in America rejected that abomination, and he did not.
So what does tonight mean when President Obama is president of the United States? How does
Is he?
tonight play a role?
That's another question. Is he president of the United States? According to the Constitution, in order to be eligible for president, you have to be a natural-born citizen. He has refused to provide proof that he is, in fact, a natural-born citizen. And his Kenyan relations say that he was born in Nairobi at a time when his mother was too young to transmit U.S. citizenship. So I'm not even sure he's president of the United States. No, that's not a laughing matter. Neither are many of our military people now who are going to court to ask the question, do we have to obey a man who is not qualified under the Constitution? We're in the midst of the greatest crisis this nation has ever seen. And if we don't stop laughing about it and deal with it, we're going to find ourselves in the midst of chaos, confusion, and civil war. It's time we started acting like grown-ups.
How could the policy that President Obama makes in the next couple of years affect activity?
He's good, Alan Keyes. I mean, wow. If he would have been elected instead of Obama, we might have a completely different world. And thanks everyone in the chat for bringing us up to speed on this guy. Interesting. I remember when he ran, but no one really did an in-depth on him. Everyone was focused on Obama, all on the Kenyan. Yeah, and look at this. Now this AI just designed a full rocket engine in just 2 weeks. This is from a couple of years ago, I believe. But so they're letting the AI design rocket engines. Watch this.
What you're looking at is a real rocket engine, designed algorithmically by AI, and it works on its very first test. This engine was generated using an AI engineering model called Neuron, developed by Leap 71, which uses physics, thermodynamics, and manufacturing constraints to produce functional rocket designs. Instead of being drawn piece by human engineers, the AI computed the entire geometry as a single optimized structure prioritizing performance, heat flow, and structural integrity. The engine was then manufactured using industrial metal 3D printing, turning the AI-generated design into a physical object. From finalized specifications to a test-ready engine, the entire process took just 2 weeks. For comparison, developing a similar rocket engine using traditional engineering methods can take months, or even years. It's strange. Organic shape isn't artistic, it's mathematical, because AI doesn't care how it looks. It only cares about what works. And for the first time in history, machines aren't just helping engineers design the future. They're starting to design it themselves.
Which is a little bit frightening, you have to admit. Interesting, but frightening. And Valeronian says, it looks like the nozzle is made out of bronze. It's some sort of powdered metal. Now, my dad was a tool maker, and he really liked the powdered metal. So it really opened up, even before AI, it opened up whole new realms of possibilities for metal parts to not have to be forged. Now they can be, this powdered metal can be used to make these things. Yeah, very interesting. And that's an industrial powdered metal. So what it might be, some sort of alloy. I don't know. Copper? Oh, Peggy thinks copper is more than likely what it is made of. Could be, or some other alloy that has that similar, or a copper alloy perhaps. Copper's pretty soft. You need something, maybe some titanium. There's And okay, Valeronian says, I've heard of beryllium bronze alloy. That would be superior to steel, but I have never seen it. Okay. Well, I think maybe you can do things with powdered metal you can't do otherwise. You could mix the powders together, and I don't know, right? Donald Trump put this out. Paul A. shared it. Let's see. Stephen Rampart. Trump reposted this. This is good. So this person, Steve Rampart, says, at Barack Obama, I hope they arrest you before your grand opening of your war bunker in the south side of Chicago. You committed treason targeting the president of the United States with Hillary Clinton. It's time we prosecuted someone for treason and send a message. Ooh, look, 17 views. And he shared this. He probably could have done it earlier, but it wasn't to 17 yet, perhaps. Interesting. Very interesting. He's so Johnny on the spot. Amazing. And this is a very sad state of affairs. It shows how dirty the Democrats play. Benny Johnson, Republican voters make up 40% of New England. Democrats control the district lines. Result, Republicans 0 seats, Democrats 27 seats. Now imagine that. It's all, even though it's 40% Republican on average, no representation. That's not the way the founding fathers wanted it to be. Terrible. This is what an invasion looks like. Illegal immigrants into the United States. Look at this. 2022, 2023, 2024. Look at all those people, all those diseases. 2020, 2021. Look at that. Talk about a color revolution. Look at that. Just atrocious. Terrible. Unbelievable. And we are stopping the stop the flow, and we're sending them back. And boy, hopefully quick as possible. Oh, this is great. His dad put a can of Cheese Whiz in his Spider-Man web shooter. Watch this. Look at the look on his face. He's got the power. What a lucky kid. He does that and no one is yelling at him. Everyone's laughing. What a cool experience for that little boy. Now, if he does it again, it probably won't be funny, will it? It's only funny the first time, kid. Look at that. Cheese Whiz. Who would have thought? A dad. That's why dads are important. They do the important stuff. Juanita Broderick says, correct. The party that founded the KKK in 1865 was just caught funding the KKK in 2026. They never changed. Nothing ever changed. They just changed the story a little bit and made you confused. Oh, and look what else Trump posted. Look at this. Real AF Patriot posted this. Trump just posted this on Truth Social. Arrests are coming. Donald J. Trump. U.S. Patriot posted this, and POTUS reposted it. Stop telling us who broke the law and start telling us who was arrested. Yes. ASAP. And I think things are going to start to get a little faster now that Pam Bondi has been replaced. So we'll see. Look at this disgraceful. Look at, she's a judge. Look what she's doing. Look at this.
Yes, 1 second.
Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt, but these are the morning cases. The court is about to start.
Okay, I thought I had 10 minutes. Go ahead and exit.
Have everybody come in?
No. Give me 10 minutes, please.
I thought I had 10 minutes. I do my twerking routine.
Yes.
Unreal. What in the DI hire is this? DEI hire. Didn't earn it. You know she didn't earn it. If she did earn it, that's the way she earned it. Disgraceful. Fire her. Get rid of her. Impeach her. Get her off the bench. She doesn't belong there. My God. DEI. If DEI had a poster child, this is it right here. Disgraceful. Totally disgraceful. And on the cool side of the world here, Gunther Eagleman, President Trump just dropped this gem. Listen to this.
I thought I'd bring up a subject of interest. I do a lot of this as president and try and save money. And one was the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, which everybody knows. That's where Martin Luther King made his great speech and where others have likewise made great speeches and great events held there. It's very famous. It was built in 1922 and it's more than 2,000 feet long. It's 167 feet wide. It's very big. That's like taller than any skyscraper, 2,000 feet. And here's a picture of it. You probably recognize it. Right now, it's got no water in it because it was in terrible shape. It was filthy, dirty, and it leaked like a sieve for many years. And so I actually went with Secret Service and a group of people, and I took a look at it. One of the people with me was Doug Burgum, our great Secretary of the Interior. This comes under his purview, and he said, yes, we've had a lot of problems with it. It's not working. It hasn't worked for many years, and it's always filthy dirty. And I said, well, we're going to solve the problem. And they had bids to fix it. They were going to take the stone out, which was granite, very expensive, very thick, and replace it with stone. And it was going to cost $300 million. And it was going to take maybe more than 3 years. And I said, no, there's a better way of doing it. I said, what we're going to do is I'm going to call all three of these people that have worked for me in the past doing swimming pools. That's all they can do is a swimming pool. And I said, give me a good price. We can do it for maybe $1.5 million to $2 million as opposed to $300 million. We scrubbed the surface of the existing granite that's been there since 1922. We then grouted all of the granite, fixed it up, took about 2 weeks, and now we have a nice clean surface on which we're putting a industrial grade swimming pool topping. And they said, what color would you like, sir? It's called American flag blue. I said, that's the color I want. I want American flag blue. It'll last for 40 or 50 years. There'll be no leaks. There'll be no anything. It'll look gorgeous, beautiful. So it's a story in business. And here's the difference. Because somebody said, well, sir, but wouldn't it be a better job? I said, no. This is a much better job for much less money. It will look far more beautiful than it did in 1922 when they built it, much more beautiful. So we built it in much less time for much less money. But I don't mean much less. I mean numbers that nobody can even believe. So it's $1.5 million versus 300. It's 2 weeks versus more than 3 years. And that's just the way it is. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
You'll love this president. He's such a good steward of the grounds of the whole area there. Wow, he's really making America great again and making DC great again. Hats off to Donald Trump. Oh, and look at this. Juanita Broderick said, I almost scrolled past this. Love it. And you're going to love this too. This is a great little story. Check this.
If you've been keeping up with my stories, you know that I have a pet bee, and I kind of wanted to introduce her because this does feel like a very unique experience. Her name is BB. I call her Bee Bug. I found her almost exactly 2 months ago, lying on her back outside, probably dying. And I've seen a lot of videos of people reviving bees by giving them sugar and water. And I was like, you know what? Maybe she just needs a little sugar. Maybe she just needs a little sugar. She's getting zoomies. So long story short, I bring her inside. I had a bouquet of flowers that I put her in. And, you know, I kind of just gave her some sugar and water thinking I'll help replenish her and she can go about her day and live a long, happy life. Eventually, I realized she cannot fly. Also, she's doing her favorite activity right now. I make a little cave for her to burrow in. And she loves it in here. She can be in here all day. Obviously, as an empath, there's no way I could have put her back outside knowing she's unable to fly. So here we are. It's been 2 months and she has been spoiled rotten. She gets everything she wants. It's been really fun getting to know her little personality. I know it's crazy. But I swear she has one. I swear. We have a little routine going. I feed her around 12 and then again once I come home from the gym and then again while I'm having dinner. So she does have an internal clock. Trust, she does. She knows. She is a carpenter bee, so she obviously loves wood. I bought her a little wood house. This mushroom, this is her living situation, okay? She has a bonsai tree. She has this little mushroom that her godmother has given to her. Yes, she has a godmother. I need to get BB a fresh bouquet of flowers, but here's her most recent bouquets. I buy her flowers pretty often oh shit. She does like to try and commit suicide. Bee-Bug, where are you? Oh my God, where?
Oh no.
Are you serious? Please, like, you're so little and fragile. Stop doing that. Whammy, stop. Whammy. Being a mother is not easy, guys. I obviously buy her flowers as long as they're cat safe because we do have Whammy over here. And Whammy has gotten pretty used to her. He knows not to mess with her. Sometimes he tries, but he knows not to mess with her. And obviously they're separated. Now, you may be wondering, what do I feed her? She eats a big fat block of pollen. All of this just for her. I kind of just wet a little piece so it can be nice and soft for her. And bees also need water, so that's my way of keeping her hydrated. I think bees are a lot more intelligent than we give them credit for. They recognize faces. She will reach for me when she wants to be held. Oftentimes, I'll find her running around in panic until I finally pick her up and she finds a nice little cozy spot on my hand to take a little nap. And it's the cutest thing ever. I think she's actually pretty cozy right now. My favorite thing she does when she naps, she will put her little antennas down. And it's the cutest fucking thing ever. It's so cute. She also loves a good nap on this windowsill, especially when I lay the blanket down for her. Look at her. She's grooming her little antennas and it's so cute. Watching her groom is so fascinating. I have studied her entire routine. So yeah, that's my little BB. If you're still watching, thank you. And she is sending you the best energies ever.
Look at that face of that thing.
Say bye-bye, everybody.
Hi, BB. Wow, that's cool. Thanks, Juanita Broderick. Thanks for not passing that one by. And Hung Chung Kao put this out. Thank you, Mr. President. It's time to get to work. I am pleased, Trump says, I'm pleased to announce that Hung Kao, what a name, will be our next United States Undersecretary of the Navy. Hung is the embodiment of the American dream. As a refugee to our great nation, Hung worked tirelessly to make proud the country that gave his family a home. He went to our amazing United States Naval Academy and later earned his master's degree in physics. Hung served in combat as a special operations officer for 25 years. With Hung's experience, both in combat and in the Pentagon, he will get the job done. Congratulations to Hung and his wonderful family. Isn't that nice? I heard someone mentioned, I'm not sure if this is true or not, it might be, that Hung Kao was one of the rescue people or the divers that retrieved JFK Jr.'s body or a body from the airplane off the coast of Martha's Vineyard so many years ago. So if that's true, it would make sense that Trump would promote him. Yeah, wow, Hung Kao, what a name. Central casting on names here. Oh, and here's Europe. Look at the infestation of Europe. They're cooked. Look at that. It's been going on since what, 2012 or something? Look at, they're just overwhelmed from 2008. Wow. From 2008. Look at that. Just disgusting. Boy, I guess I'll never get to Paris or England or Ireland. Man. Just terrible. This makes you really... Oh, let's see this. Oh, this is incredible. You are going to love this, and everyone's going to want this system. Check. Do you get calls from people, auto calls? Do you get a call if you don't want? Check this out.
So check this out. So I get all these spam calls from on this phone number all the time, right? Yeah, a bunch of them, right? So what I've done is I've created a script in JitBit. What this is going to do is it's going to call them back, right? It's going to wait for them to answer.
Thank you for calling Express Flooring.
It's going to interact with the prompts automatically. And when they answer, it's going to play Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up.
Rick roll.
So now, and then he hung up. But see, what you don't know about the script though, is that I have it on repeat. It's a zero loop integer I put in here. So it's going to keep calling them back over and over. It's going to keep doing this forever until they're forced to block my phone number. Thusly eliminating them from ever spam calling me because they have my number blocked.
Please press 1 to schedule a free consultation for customer service. Transferring now. This call may be recorded for quality and training purposes.
It's still going.
Hey, this is Jerry with Express Flooring, scheduling specialist.
Brilliant.
Oh my God. This is so satisfying. I think I just found my new favorite thing in the world. And it's just going to keep on calling them all day long.
Thank you for calling.
It's never going to stop because you know what? Fuck these people. Yeah, go ahead and answer.
This call may be recorded for quality.
I'm never going to give you up. I'm not going to stop until you block my phone number.
Oh, this is so good.
Yep. That's what you get. That's what you get for spam calling me.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, he doesn't need Netflix or anything. He just watches his program slowly eliminate all of his spam callers. Oh my goodness. Oh, and Rose Thessalard says he would be a gazillionaire. Put it on the market. I think he explained how to do it. If I wouldn't know how to do it. I'm a tech tard myself, but. And then Cap 78 Pack says, I need one of those. Hook me up, buddy. I know, right? The Misfit Patriot shared this and says, I will literally pay money for this. Someone find this guy and tell him to hit me up. So good. So good. Oh, this is the 70s. Let's take a trip back to the 70s, shall we? Because it's where we wish we still were. Let's go back to the beginning.
Ah, the 1970s. A majestic era before Wi-Fi, helicopter parenting, or the concept of basic safety regulations. If you're watching this on a $1,200 rectangle of glass while sipping an oat milk latte, brace yourself.
Hello?
I'm about to explain how an entire generation
Thank you.
survived childhood relying solely on tap water and profound parental neglect. Let's talk transit. Long before apps and e-scooters, we had the big wheel. It was 100% hard plastic, sounded like a blender full of rocks, and we rode them until the front tire literally wore through. When you outgrew that, you graduated to a heavy metal bicycle with a banana seat. Helmets? Please. Our safety protocol was pretending we were Evel Knievel and hoping the pavement was forgiving. Our toys weren't educational or ergonomic, they were tetanus hazards. We played with Tonka trucks forged from actual heavy-duty steel and SST cars that launched off ramps like projectiles. If you didn't draw blood at least once by lunchtime, you simply weren't playing hard enough. And the supervision? Absolutely non-existent. The standard parental operating procedure was to shove you out the screen door at 8 a.m. and lock it behind you. The only tracking device they used was the sun. The golden rule? Don't come back until the streetlights come on. We built forts, explored the woods, and enjoyed the terrifying, exhilarating freedom of knowing our parents had absolutely no clue where we were. When you got thirsty, you didn't go inside for an artisanal hydration pouch. You drank from the garden hose. It was lukewarm, tasted heavily of rubber and neighborhood algae, and it was glorious. Eventually, the streetlights flickered on, signaling the end of your freedom. You went inside to watch one of the 3 available TV channels, serving as the unpaid human remote control for your dad. The 1970s. We didn't have a million entertainment options force-fed to us on tiny screens. We had Saturday morning cartoons, block parties, and a daily unspoken struggle for survival. We might not have had the internet, but at least we had sick bikes.
I would say cool bikes. Yeah, the 70s was pretty much fun. And Cat Turd says, LOL, funny because it's true. Yeah, we drank out of the hose a lot, let me tell you. And let's see. Jack Danger, another one. So they're calling David Wilcock the next kill. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. He did kill himself, but I think he might have been his circumstances, which were brought upon him by cyber stalkers and just people that wanted him to shut up. They caused him to do this. It just made his life not livable. You should never do that to someone. It's so sick. But you know what? Years ago, when I had my blog talk radio show, I had hundreds of thousands of downloads on my blog talk radio show. And I started getting some people, one person in particular, following me and calling me and leaving really disturbing messages. And so that's just 1/1,000,000th of the thing that he was getting. All of these people wanting for him to stop. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and listen to this. You ever heard of these sounds before? This is in Florida. A woman in Florida has captured some of the strangest thunder you'll ever hear. I don't know if this is true or not. If you live in Florida, have you heard this? Let me know.
I don't know if my phone will pick this up or not, but I've been outside for like 15 minutes and the thunder sounds bizarre. What is that? I'm Operation Floridian, and I have never heard thunder like that. What is that? Okay, I don't know if my phone.
It sounds like someone's striking a spring, a reverb spring, or a tight cable. If you hit it hard with something hard, fast with something hard, it makes that kind of a sound. I don't know. And Rosa Slart says, sounds like warfare. Could be. And Cap 78 Pack, warp speed from the Starship Enterprise. That's you got my vote right there. And Cap 78 Pack says, being a targeted individual is not easy. No, it's not. And Kathy says, good night, everyone. Good night, Kathy. All right. Let's see. We're nearing the end here. Actually, we are at the end. Look at that. Good timing, Kathy. So that brings us back to our homepage. And I want to thank everyone for coming along on this quest for truth here on the Truth Quest. So thank you for coming along. Thank you all so very much. And boy, my keyboard's working and I can do those wonderful, lovely, beautiful, awesome exclamation points. So there you go. Then there you have it. Alrighty, Aphrodite. And let's see. So Kathy said good night. And Rose Thistle Art says, good night, Kathy, with a K, sweet dreams. Oh, that's nice. And then Valeronian says, thank you, Aaron. You're welcome, buddy. And then I said, thank you also very much. And let's see. It looks like Valeronian. Oh, yep. Valeronian says, good night, fellow Truth Questers. Thanks, buddy. Oops. And Cap 78 Pack says, have a great rest of your Friday night. Have a great weekend. Much love. God bless you. And peace in worldwide. Thanks, Aaron and Truth Questers. You're welcome. You're welcome, Peggy. And then Roseless Lart has a radiating heart, a bunch of radiating hearts, 3 of them. And thank you. Good night, sweet dreams, and never gonna give you up. Rickroll. Oh, yeah. Awesome. I like that. All righty then. Well, thanks a lot for coming along, folks. You guys rock because you are the Truth Questers. Remember, we do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central. And why do we do that? Because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. So keep your cameras pointed to the skies so you can take a picture of that crazy UFO or a UAP. It's a UFO. And come on to the Truth Quest and talk all about it. Until then, peace in. And we're talking about world peace, maybe even universal peace. Peace in. That's the way to be. We don't want peace to be out. We want peace in. Thank you all, and we'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, and keep rocking. Oh, we got a couple other little messages here. Peggy says, Rick rolled by @Rose. And then Rose has some faces there. Isn't that funny? And R. Yeah. All right. Good night and peace in. You guys rock. Thank you. Don't forget to share and hit the old like. Thank you very much.